let's talk SEC. So, of course, the game of all games that got everybody fired. Texas A&M goes and beats LSU in Death Valley, something they haven't done in 31 years since 1994. Texas A&M had a slow first half where they were down. Marcel Reed threw 2 interceptions. He did have a 41-yard scramble, and they were down. But just like last year, Texas A&M comes out in the second half and absolutely curb stomps LSU.
May not come when you want it, but it'll be there
absolutely
right
curb
on time.
And at the end of the game, Brian Kelly was walking off the field for LSU, and they were booing him. And because you don't lose to Texas A&M in Baton Rouge, that's what you don't do. Most of these kids weren't born; they've never seen it. So he walks off the field, and he's approached by the associate AD like hostile, kind of like they did Herm Edwards. And I was like, they about to fire that man. And then you see all the LSU faithful coming out talking about, hey, man, something got to change. Blase, blase, blah. And Brian Kelly, and first off, he did get fired, but this is the point I want to make. He came into LSU and he was a horrible fit. And the first thing he did was fire a beloved staff member, the strength and conditioning coach, who had been there since either Les or Saban. I can't remember. He had been through 3 regimes. It's only been 3 regimes.
2 or 3 chips too.
So he had been there the whole time through all them receivers that you see in the league, all them DBs, all those defensive tackles and defensive ends. He was there. He's the strength and conditioning guy. And Brian Kelly, not reading the room, fired him. You know what Mike Elko said? Coach Elko, I don't know if his name is Mike. Coach Elko said for Texas A&M, the last 2 years we've outscored LSU 40-6 in the second half. That's a testament to our strength and conditioning coach. And then walked off. That is when you were fired.
Oh, you fired yourself. You fired yourself when you did it, though. Take your own personal accountability. Or don't. I don't care. I feel a little conflicted about this. I think that Brian Kelly didn't do himself a bunch of favors, but also Texas A&M is a really good football team.
Yeah, he got fired.
It's a damn good football team.
For sure. Yeah.
Yeah, I think I don't think that it was ever really a good marriage. They kind of found him disingenuous from the way that he started this thing with the
stupid ass accent. Yeah. Duh.
But I can't, as a person who's struggling with a coach, say I don't think that's a reason. I don't think that's a good reason to fire a coach either. I'll take a coach with a bad accent. Hold on, wait, Lord, I will take anything.
Well, you get Brian Kelly, you might come to Florida. But what I'm starting to notice, not even starting to notice, this is a hypothesis I've had across football, both pro and college. The CEO style coach is waning. You have to do something. And we'll get to that when we talk about the Falcons. But you have to do something. Kirby Smart is a defensive coordinator at heart. He still coaches the DBs, right? Look at Ryan Day, just happens to have probably the best recruiter in the country as your offensive coordinator. But outside of that, Ryan Day was on the fence because he is a CEO coach.
My only pushback to that will be I just saw this list of the last 30 years of coaches who won championships. I think that 2 of them call plays.
No. Okay, yes, call plays, but I'm talking about coaches something. Like when Brian Kelly, the only thing you've seen him do is he cussed out a wide receiver and cussed out his quarterback. You don't see him going over there and talking. Like you see Kirby with the DBs. You used to see Spurrier with the quarterbacks and receivers, right? You see Nick Saban with the DBs and the linebackers. You see Mario Cristobal now, even though we think Miami's overrated, he's a line coach, right? That CEO,
you're not Bobby Bowden. You're not Bobby Bowden sitting at the top of practice.
Can't do it. Urban Meyer, Bobby Bowden, all that stuff where you're a CEO coach and you let everybody else do it. That's not the model of today anymore.
So you saying it don't matter. You might not need to call the plays, but you better have at least one something that you are responsible for. Fair enough. I don't hate that.
Yeah. Dion is a CEO coach. Amen.
But he's in that offense. He's in that offense and in that defense. And that's a different discussion.
But what's the fallout? I don't know.
Wait, this is the other part about this is, number one, this puts a ton of pressure on my team to find their coach faster. Because as much as I love my team, I think the LSU job is infinitely a better job today than the Florida job is today.
Yeah. Brian Kelly, he may not be able to coach well in big games, but he can recruit.
Right. But I just think that LSU over the last 10 or 15 years has been a better program than Florida. That's a better job. But before, when Brian Kelly was still coaching, the Florida vacancy was the most attractive vacancy. Now, I'm also going to say something I don't think a lot of people are going to like. You're wasting your time calling Urban Meyer and Nick Saban trying to get them to coach LSU. I think
and Kirby Smart.
And I mean, you could probably call Dan Lanning, but if I'm Dan Lanning, there's no reason for me to leave.
Why? I am outside of this year with Cignetti. I'm the number 2 team in the Big Ten. If I go down to LSU or Florida, I'm the number 4.
Phil Knight, unlimited.
Oh yeah,
money,
that too. Unlimited
resources. Like unlimited. When Nike, it's a whole different ball game. But this should be very interesting to see. I want to know who LSU thinks that they're going to get, and you're going to come in
Tulane
with
coach.
a ton of pressure.
Tulane. That's who I got. That's what my money's on.
Also, give me a moment here. I'd like to thank your sister Lauren. She talked so bad about my team. Terrible. Just laughed and kiki about how awful we were, and we sucked. And now look at us. We here together. You ain't got no coach. I ain't got no coach. We ain't got no future.
Your quarterback ain't good. Your quarterback ain't good.
Nah, I actually don't think that either quarterback is bad. I just don't think that either quarterback is as good as advertised. I think there's a difference. I
never said they were bad. I said your quarterback ain't good.
I think the DJ and Nussmeier could be good, but they need more help than we assumed that they needed. I will say that much.
Yep. It's gonna be interesting. Now all of a sudden, I'm looking at Clemson. Y'all fired. I told y'all James Franklin opened the portal. Once you start firing coaches and are willing, because the Jimbo Fisher firing was looked at as kind of a one-off. Like, yeah, we're gonna pay you $70 million, but you're not really gonna do that. Ed Ogeron was even kind of crazy. They was like, we'll pay you 17 to leave. He was like, where do I sign? But now James Franklin getting paid all that money. They're about to all in to fire
Franklin
Brian Kelly from LSU.
We still play Billy like $21 million to go home. That's a lot of money.
All in to fire Brian Kelly and bring on another coach is going to be $100+ million.
This is what I will say about Clemson, where I think that they are stuck, is there are other teams that have fired better coaches
than Dabo. I mean, not really. Dabo got 2 championships. What other teams have been fired? Coach have been fired to have 2 championships.
I don't think that Dabo is today a better coach than Brian Kelly or James Franklin.
Dabo got 2 championships. None of them have championships. None of them even have SEC championships.
Yeah, but also LSU's still LSU is not a bad team. Clemson is bad
this year. But again, that's not the point that you make it. You said better coaches, and I'm
I
saying he has afforded himself the luxury of at least giving the benefit of the doubt.
Oh no. Let me do us all a favor here. I want to afford him more luxury, more opulence, more time. Resign him to another contract. There is a difference between what I think you should do and what I want you to do. I think you should double down and make Dabo football coach emeritus for what he's done for you guys.
No, they keep losing, they won't. He probably got another 18 months.
Don't ever let him walk out of the doors. He means that much to you guys. Keep him around.
What was Clemson before?
Right? Clemsoning. Like that used to be a verb. But repay him. Sign him more money. Because me and Reggie love. Absolutely love.
Yeah, you done made, and you ain't taking nobody from the portal.
Recruiting
for Georgia, just fantastic. We ain't even got to worry about South Carolina no more.
Hey, bro, salute. Without you, none of this would be possible. But before we leave here, I want y'all to notice the score here: 49-25. Texas A&M, good team. LSU, I still believe to be a good team.
Now
wait a season. No, I mean, Sneaky, you're not wrong. You're not wrong. Sneaky says that Clemsoning might be back, and let's bring it back. Bring it on back.
Clemsoning. Alabama beats South Carolina. They score at the end of the game after they kind of went on another fluke again. Lenore Sellers fumbles. It's really not a fluke. It was a great play by the defense. He fumbles on a kind of like quarterback, I think it was a draw or sneak, and he ends up gets the ball ripped away, kind of like Jalen Hurts against the Giants, but we'll get there. And Alabama recovers with a tie game, and they go score with 54 seconds left to win the game. Sneaks out of South Carolina. No pun intended, sneaky. Sneaks out of South Carolina, which I told y'all was difficult. Was difficult to play because of that damn Sandstorm song at night. As a Georgia fan, I know what it's like to play in South Carolina with Sandstorm blasting and they too,
boy.
They be getting it. They used to beat us every year, bro. They be
and that's a place that gets loud. If you've never been to Columbia late night, that thing gets to shaking.
So, and they actually had a chance to win. All in all, man. The thought is Alabama as good as the number 3 ranking that ranking that they are? They seem to be, as a very long time Georgia fan, the old Georgia Bulldogs, the Mark Richt Bulldogs, where they squeak by, and then get the doors blown off of them in the playoffs. I'm not saying that will happen because this defense is coming of age, and the offense, Kalen DeBoer got him Ty Simpson. He got Ty Simpson moving, but I'm not convinced that this team is
worse than when you know something is a scam, but you can't prove it. Like the mattress firms everywhere on every corner. You go to a mattress shop, but you know they got to be like an illegal drug ring. Same thing with Ty Simpson. I know that this is a scam. I wouldn't invest in it, but at the same time, every week he continues to survive. This is the reason, all you listeners who are Big Ten fans, this is the reason the SEC will always be better. Because y'all say, oh, parity is going to change anything. Then you say, oh, the NIL changes things. What the SEC has done is continued to be the most interesting conference, the most competitive conference. This is the reason I don't respect the Big Ten. Because even though I think that Alabama's not as great as they've been in the past, South Carolina is a really good team. I think the LSU, they're a good team. You just ran up against a buzzsaw of Texas A&M who's gotten it together. Them Big Ten teams, Rutgers not competitive. I'm not worried about what Northwestern is going to do. No, the bottom of the SEC, I will continue and go to my grave believing it's just better than the mid-tier Big Ten. The guys at the top, I have respect for. But I also am envious and jealous and don't think that they should get as much credit because you play a very light schedule. These dog fights every week in the SEC.
It is. So to tie it out last, the Gamecocks, they look like they're got the inside track. You know, they got to play LSU. I think still, and they still got to play Auburn, and they got a couple other games, but they've got the inside track to make it to Atlanta for the SEC championship game, possibly against Texas A&M, which would be something I didn't expect. In the main topic that we want to talk about, could Lane Kiffin, who beats Oklahoma in Oklahoma after blowing it really to Georgia. I mean, they kind of blew it against Georgia. Oklahoma puts up 34 against them. Lane trolling the Oklahoma Sooners players after the game. Said this guy right here was talking to me the whole game. Laughed at him, and then he walks off after being interviewed and says he's staying in Ole Miss. Or tells the faithful. You really believe, Lane, that he gonna stay here? I don't know. Florida is throwing $3 million more than what Ole Miss is offering him.
No. They're trying to make Lane the highest paid coach in college football history. That's the reason the pressure is. You got to let us know. But the thing about it is, I don't know, Lane. This is career navigation 101 here, and not 101. This is actually like a 400 class because you're uniquely qualified to kind of do whatever, but your next step need to be your best step. Because I do think that if you stay in Ole Miss, overall, Ole Miss, as much as we think they're a good football team, they're not championship competitive. You get what I'm saying? Where
I think they're the same as just about every other SEC team.
No, hell
outside of like Georgia and Alabama. Like he part of the rest.
Yes,
LSU, rest, Oklahoma, Texas.
Well, when I say I'm talking about the teams, essentially the teams that have won championships, I think that they fall into a different category because I think that their fan base has a different level of expectation. Realistic or unrealistic. I'm a Florida fan. I've seen multiple championships. It's championship or bust. If I'm LSU, I've seen multiple championships. It's championship or bust. Auburn is the only, they got exactly one. I don't think you can be championship or bust. So, but I think that LSU, Florida, who else falls into that category other than Alabama, Georgia?
Texas. I think Lane, Texas, if I'm Lane, and this is, you brought this point up. Matter of fact, no, finish your point before because
I think that he needs to make a good decision. I don't know. I think that he's in a weird situation because this might be peak Ole Miss, and you might be able to squeak out a championship. And if you squeak out a championship at Ole Miss, it's bigger than any championship you ever win in Florida. Sorry, it's just
the first, right?
Right. Yes.
Yeah.
So, but I think that long term, if I had to coach a team for 10 years, I want the Florida team more than I want the Ole Miss team. And I think that's reasonable.
Yeah, that's cool. Florida, Ole Miss, LSU is all fine and dandy. It's all fine and dandy, but there's another job that the coach, and shout out to Ole Miss for beating the Rebels. Cool. It is what it is. I mean, sorry, Ole Miss beating the Sooners. The Sooners were on not on a heater, but they had gotten better. Mateer playing, that injury hurts you. But
this is the thing, though. They won 34-26. This is another good game. This is
on the road against a respectable opponent.
Right.
But there's another team, and I'm going to click it because I'm going to pivot here a little bit, if you don't mind. There's another team where the coach put out feelers before the game. Ole Miss comes back to beat Mississippi State, who's 0-3 now in the SEC. They come back and win in overtime, 45-38. Arch Manning gets knocked out of the game at the end of the fourth quarter by not sliding, trying to run people over, and you got knocked out with a concussion. Backup quarterback comes in, who I said over and over, I was like, we don't know who he is. You said, he's at Texas. He's probably pretty good. Came in, threw a touchdown. Like, what? Immediate.
I said you were just stuck. There's no way. Well, before we go, once again, it's an overtime game, 7 points. I'm going to beat y'all in the head with the SEC being just top tier elite. But I think that he looks at Arch and he probably listens to the podcast. Nora has a valid point. As long as Arch is here, I'm stuck with Arch. And Arch has not been as good as advertised.
And to follow up that point is why I pivoted here. Steve Sarkisian's representation has put out feelers that he would be interested in becoming a head coach in the NFL. And one team that is looking for one with a quarterback that he can build an offense around is the Tennessee Titans, who just fired their coach and essentially are not linked to anybody right now. And they have a decent defense.
We take that phone call.
So now Texas, and this is, I'm going to pivot back to Lane. If I'm Lane, I'm probably not going to force a decision. If Florida's trying to bait me into a decision right now, I'm not going to make a decision because if Texas come calling, and I told y'all the NIL money, if Texas come calling with that NIL, I said once NIL happened, all Texas teams have a leg up. That's oil money. If Texas come calling with that money, Austin first thing smoking.
But this is where he has leverage on us. Is LSU's going to send over an offer letter too, and
all y'all can send offer letters.
No. But what I'm saying is typically as a salesperson, I want to close you one and done. Make the offer. I want to go ahead and meet all of your objections so we can close. I don't want you to hear offers from other people because they may be able to talk you into something better or just give or offer you something like put you in a better position. I think that LSU is a better job. So now,
then what?
It's better than Florida.
Cool.
So now you can't pressure me into taking the Florida job. LSU gonna call me, and they're two guys who they want. They're not coming out of retirement. I'm probably the best guy available for LSU.
And that's why I'm saying if I'm Texas and Steve Sarkisian is out and I'm Lane, yeah, LSU gonna give me cool. LSU and Florida can give me offer letters. Y'all can bid back and forth. But just like recruiting these Georgia football players, it's the exact same thing as NIL now. Okay, I want what's his name? Justice Terry. Is it Justice Terry? I think that's his name. That might not be his name. Whatever. That plays for Texas now. The defensive tackle that came out of Georgia. No more recruit that was basically committed to Georgia. Everybody had on red and black. Texas came in and was like, we will give you 40% more on the NIL. I don't know the number, but I just know that it was significant that he changed on the spot.
If you're Lane, do you make Arch get in? Do you hit him with a Dion? You probably need to hit the transfer portal. Because for Sarkisian to walk out the door on a Manning,
I mean, you go to the pros. You walk out the door, especially if you think that Manning ain't good. Yeah, you walk out.
No. But what I'm saying is, if Sark leaves, say he goes to the Titans, Kiffin takes over at Texas. Do you tell him after what we've seen this season, I'm bringing my Louis bags with me, or do you have him be around and know that he's basically, due to his name, going to be your QB1? Because that's a part of the decision.
I'm gonna take your It's tricky. Because Lane has turned quarterbacks into number one picks.
For sure.
Lane has turned quarterbacks and gotten them to get the notoriety otherwise that we probably don't think is great.
Oh, and if you knock this Manning out of the park, then you're the man.
Arch ain't no Louis. Yeah. So the thing is, Lane already has two quarterbacks. He's got Chambliss now, who's playing well.
Arch might not be coach.
And then he also has Austin Simmons, who was the 16-year-old freshman, who's now a 19-year-old senior with 2 more years of eligibility. So it's already ready-made, right?
Right.
But then you got Arch. And if you turn Arch, it's almost like what's your aspirations? Because if you turn Arch into Arch, what we think Arch should be, or what he's been rumored to be, I ain't gonna say we should be, what he was rumored to be, and he becomes like the number one pick and becomes amazing next year, you're muted. And he becomes amazing next year,
then you're the king of the castle.
Then at that point, the Falcons might be calling you. Like at this, you may be one and done at Texas too. If you could do that. So I mean, it's that's why I said it's tricky. Is what is your aspirations? He could be fine with being the king of the castle in Ole Miss if he win a championship, which is highly possible because they could score 1,000,000 points. So I mean,
if you win that championship at Ole Miss, you are their Steve Spurrier, the guy who you aspire to be so badly. You're him.
That'd be sick for y'all. Y'all would be sick. Y'all would be sick. But yeah, man. To round it out, Texas comes back and beats Mississippi State, a team that they were supposed to beat. But we're all happy for them now. Cool. We can get back on track. So the game of the week was actually like Revenge of the Nerds. Ole Miss. I'm sorry. Vanderbilt beats Missouri in Missouri. No, they're at home. 17-10. Diego Pavia does enough to win. He wins with grit and Cuban link chains and grills and all of the good stuff. And Vanderbilt has won, and they are now ranked inside the top 10 and possibly a lock for the playoff because they're essentially battling Georgia for the at-large.
He's somewhere between like a Tim Tebow, Johnny football to me. He has sauce like Johnny, but he has the ability to win like both of them, where it's like you look at it and you're just like, maybe.
Yeah, they be winning a lot of 16, 12 games.
And him and Johnny have a
Nah, he's not like Dylan Gabriel. Yeah. I think he's more athletic. He's I mean, Johnny Manziel was a good one. We responded to Sneaky, who said at Pavia, it was some Baker seasoning. He does have some Baker Mayfield seasoning.
All of those guys, y'all know what those guys are and what they ain't.
Intangibles.
Yes.
Well, Baker Mayfield has tangibles, but the other ones have intangibles.
I want to ask, as we've now gotten much deeper into the season, do you have your opinions on Pavia changed?
Hell no. Everybody you just named, except for Baker Mayfield, is not in the league as an NFL player. Neither one. And I think that's par for the course. He's a really good. He is going to get his number retired. He is going to be a feel-good story. Once all of this ice stuff
dealership right there.
Once all this ice stuff goes away, we're gonna see a Netflix special. Like it's gonna be how he overcame.
Do you mind? Come on down here to Pavia Ford. We love to have you.
Yeah, it's there. He's gonna end up being the coach. Where's he from? Arizona, New Mexico. He's from somewhere out there.
He's gonna get drafted first, though.
Yeah, they're gonna give him a chance because it's a feel-good story. And look, I don't care bringing up Dylan. If y'all give Dylan Gabriel a chance, you got Diego Pavia a chance.
You think Pavia is better or worse than Gunnar Stockton?
Gunnar Stockton. Who is Gunnar Stockton? I know who Gunnar Stockton is. Why do I not? Why I can't picture who he plays for?
Your starting quarterback.
Gunnar Stockton. That's exactly how I feel. Intangibly, he's better. I think Gunnar Stockton probably has better quarterback ability, but Gunnar Stockton is a name. He's Aaron Murray. He's Gunnar Stockton. He's Stetson Bennett. He's Jake Fromm. He's Mason Hudson. He's all of those guys that is gonna own a car company or something. They're gonna be. He don't even want to be a commentator. I don't know what he gonna do.
No, he ain't gonna be no. He gonna get him a farm somewhere.
But I think Diego Pavia just would be more fun to watch. But I don't know if he gets more wins than Gunnar Stockton. I don't think he does.
I think he's for sure gonna be on the NFL roster next year. Somebody gonna roll them dice, especially as many guys as we kind of went into this season thinking that this is gonna be the quarterback draft. And Nussmeier has not come out and looked like a world beater.
Who did we?
I mean, but he was.
Y'all said it.
Drew Allar. He didn't fell like everything is kind of. Quarterback, hey man, once again, we got our own issues, but I'm happy with Michael Penix versus what's available.
Y'all said it. Y'all, not y'all, but y'all said that this was the quarterback draft when we were talking about Shador. Oh, we're gonna wait for Arch. Outside of Arch, I was like, hey, I don't know if any of these guys are proven.
Sneaky, when you say who's your QB1, oh, Marcel Reed. Marcel Reed, Texas A&M.
No, they trying to talk Ty Simpson up there.
Do it. Mitchell Trubisky. I dare you to do it. Do that. Please do that. Do that one.
But it's not. There's nobody else. I mean, Marcel Reed threw 2 interceptions that were bad. like there's just nobody else. Yeah, defense. That's
I am not
QB1 defense.
I am not anybody's general manager. I'm not anybody's coach.
I'm
never coached on anybody's level. But what I'm gonna tell you right now is, if I have to decide between Marcel Reed and Ty Simpson, if you ask me which one I'm picking, I'm gonna think you need a hole in your head. I'm assuming you're gonna be a fool. Lenore
Sellers might be it, but he's disappointed. Who's Sellers?
Lenore Sellers, quarterback.
Why did you think? Now I know that y'all don't be watching the play.
I think even when we came out, we said he needed one more season to play. We basically said he was the second rendition of Anthony Richardson. Got all the things there, but you need some time to develop, and getting out early, while it might be cool for your draft status, your ability to stay in the NFL might be questionable, as Anthony Richardson has orbital surgery on his face for working out and crushing himself. It's spooky times right now.
Think about it. Where's this guy? Tennessee's quarterback. They put up 56 points against Kentucky.
Keep doing it.
Shout out to Mike Stoops. I mean, listen, that's why.
Get a job. We are missing a couple guys. I want to bring up some names. People have fallen in love with Fernando Mendoza from Indiana. They like Dante Moore from Oregon.
He just got hurt.
Ty Simpson, 11 to the Rams.
Told you.
Rams ain't doing that. Rams make good decisions.
Why not? They got 2 first-round picks. They got ours, and we suck.
Nussmeier to the Steelers. That seems like a very Steelers pick.
Mason Rudolph.
Yep. How y'all pick the same guy with a different name? It's the quarterback position is very interesting because there's a deficit, and there's been a deficit for years of developed quarterbacks. I think that people are gonna go back and try to get these guys who did not have a good run, because you're seeing the success with the Daniel Jones of the world, the Sam Darnold of the world. I mean, what's your boy who was drafted by the 49? Trey Lance. I think that he's gonna get another chance somewhere. Also, Atlanta Hawks just lost to Chicago Bulls.
Jalen had 25 and 6. Porzingis had 27, but only 2 rebounds. Trae Young had 21 points, 17 assists.
21 shots.
17 Okongwu had 18 and 10. Nikhil Alexander Walker had 17 and 3. Zachary Ricochet with 2 points, no assists, no rebounds, and 20 minutes of play is egregious.
Yeah.
Mogay went right back to being Mogay, 4.000.
He only played 4 points in 10 minutes, and everybody else is shooting the ball. Yeah, that's what it's going to be. But the gift and the curse with Trey is 21 points on 21 shots, 17 assists, 1 turnover. That is ungodly.
You can't get mad at Trey for that game. I don't see how. If I'm shooting 21, I mean, you got to make up for Ricochet. He's a starter.
But also, Kungwu just gotta be in the starting lineup. 18 and 10 versus I'm gonna take 18 and 10 on 27 too. And he did that on 8 of 11.
All day. I agree, but at the end of the day, bro,
we ain't gonna get fired.
But back to this football. Tennessee beat Kentucky. Mike Stoops is never gonna get fired. He flirted with going to Texas A&M. Boy, A&M, y'all dodged that bullet. In Tennessee, Josh Heupel continues to be what he's got. Both of them. This is the cushy job game. Josh Heupel is never gonna have to be a really turn out to be really good. He just
I
has to
disagree
compete.
there. I disagree
Why?
there.
Why?
I think that this season is a different season for him. I think that his ability to not be Penn State, to not be Clemson.
Yeah, after you lose your quarterback.
Yeah, that means they've stayed the course. What they're top 20, they're like top 17, ain't they? Top 15.
Yeah, but my point is he ain't never gonna have to win a championship because he's gonna be viewed as lesser than Georgia. He can't beat Georgia. If Florida ever gets it together, they're always going to be the underdog to Florida, which is unfortunate because they looked at little brother, even though they probably are going to beat y'all for the next.
Yeah, I don't think that. So Tennessee is kind of where I want to be. The first thing you have to do is level set on not being losers. You got purge because you got to remember after that full Farmer. It was a rough period, and they
Kiffin,
were so
used
to being so good. They just was down so long. The Heupel probably showed up and kind of got them
used to being good though. That's it. Yeah. See, they delusional like some of them other fans. Like, bro, you had Peyton Manning, you were good. You won a national championship with T. Martin. Outside of that,
that's all that matters.
They never made the SEC championship again.
Your fan base.
The last time they made the SEC championship, everybody was wearing white spat with black shoes.
Reggie, that shit was fire too. And when they came back to Adidas, but your fan base is not logical. It's not reasonable. Your fan base is fanatical by definition.
Not this one. I just think they don't want to lose to Vanderbilt again. If they don't lose if they beat Vanderbilt, then they'll be happy.
As a person who has a lot of friends who are Vols fans, they are happy to not.
How?
What do you mean? How?
They grew up in the hills?
No, Nashville, Knoxville, and Memphis.
Memphis is Memphis. Memphis is. I ain't never met no Tennessee fan from Memphis.
Oh well, I know a ton of them.
That's
all
insane.
of them. What do you think? You gonna be a Memphis football fan?
I guess. I mean, there's nothing. I guess they're fans by default. There ain't nothing else to root for. But man, them Hilltoppers.
If you grow up in Nashville, you're a Grizzlies fan. You grow up in Memphis, you're a Vols fan. That's like growing up. Like if you grow up in Savannah, still a Georgia fan.
They be Florida fans. They be Florida fans. Right. That's South Georgia.
It's like Augusta. You could really be a Gamecocks fan because 45 minutes either way. But yeah, I know a ton of people from Memphis, and I know a ton of people who graduated from Tennessee. They all Vols fans. But yeah, I think this will be okay for another year or two. But I think that they still have an expectation of the program to be back into the competitive things of it, especially if they're going to expect, they're going to say that this season is the building block for them to step up. And if you look at Georgia's they didn't look like they looked 2 or 3 years ago. It was like, okay, well, everybody fold. Like as soon as the cards were dealt, no, I'm out. Now it's like, you know what? They kind of coming back to reality. They coming back to earth a little bit. Why can't we beat them?
They haven't played in the SEC championship since 2007. They haven't played in the national championship since 1998. 99. I'm sorry. When they beat Florida State.
You can't ask fans to be logical. They're going to be fanatical by definition.
I'm not saying they're not fanatical. I'm just saying I don't think. Well, cool. Y'all fire him. Go get somebody else. Cool. It's a Clemson job to me. He gonna stay there just like Dabo, except for he ain't gonna win nothing.
I don't think they'll fire him right away. I think it'll be 3 or 4 years before they're like, hey, you've mastered this level of being okay. Now let's step it up. Speaking of people, because I want you to tell me what happened here, because I ain't figured this out yet.